back, everyone, to our special coverage of the supplementary elections. And we're listening to Prof before we went on that break. Prof, please
the point I was making was that since 2011, INEC has invested a lot of brain power and strategic thinking into this. And coming out of that has been an investment in the in strengthening the integrity of elections. You know, administrative reform within the commission itself, and, you know, application of ICT to ensure the integrity of the electoral process. Now, I think that has been working well so far. And it's because it's working well that we now see more and more extreme violence. Because in the past, people cannot just write results. They now know that the PVC is important, the smart card reader is important. And that has made it more difficult to rig elections. So what you can then do now is to try and cause disruption when people are voting, burn ballot papers, you know, and so on and so forth, and then use all kinds of tactics to suppress voters in terms of looking at ethnic profiles and saying, you know, using that as in terms of targeting certain groups. It is because of that we're having, I think, that's my own tentative conclusion, that we now see some of the things that we never saw before happening now. And it also has implications for your voter turnout. Because it seems to me that in the past, when people write votes, you get an inflation of results.
Okay, Prof, I'm sorry, I would like to put you on pause because I understand that we're being joined on the phone from Kano by Deputy Inspector General of Police, Mike Ogbizi. I hope I got that right. Mr. Ogbizi, can you hear me?
Ogbizi, it is.
Ogbizi, can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly.
All right, good afternoon. Can you give us a situation report of what is happening in Kano?
Well, thank you. Kano is calm. Elections are going on in 218 polling units, or about 218 polling units. Some of the polling units already voting has been concluded, and the result is being taken to work center. And some counting is going on. But generally in Kano, every area is calm, is peaceful. In Ghana, there was massive turnout. Yet, area is calm because even the voters, the populace, can conduct themselves peacefully. We have not recorded any incident, any ugly incident in Kano.
Now, we had reports earlier that there was a crisis in Yelwa. What can you tell us about that?
Well, the crisis you heard about is either youths, underage youths, friend stones, and that one, pockets of them. And then that one is was taken care of, and it had no effect on the voting, on the voting at all. Voters turned out and voted.
We also had reports earlier that at some points in some of the polling units, the 218 polling units you mentioned, some of them, that there were attempts by some people described as political thugs to prevent voters from exercising their franchise. How did you deal with that?
Well, I can confirm to you that those attempts, are expected, very minor attempts, and it was taken care of. Every polling unit, voting has been going on. We only have 2 incidences of disruption of attack on INEC as they were taking voting materials, and 2 ballot boxes were damaged. Only 2 out of the 6 ballot boxes, and that has been taken care of.
Now, I'm looking at what you're saying and some of the visuals that we're getting out of Kano. It's heartwarming to hear from you, of course, as the most senior officer of the police on ground in Kano, that everything was okay. But the pockets that you mentioned, are there people who have been arrested? Are there people who are in detention at the moment? Investigations going on to find out who is behind this, even though you did describe them as isolated?
So, yeah, early in the morning, we arrested about 18 people that were found with some with cutlass, some with sticks, and we arrested them. That is very early in the morning before voting, even before voting materials get to polling units. Then we had another incident. We got somebody with a cutlass moving around close to a polling unit. We got that one arrested. So in all, we have about 18 people arrested.
On that basis. How about incidents of attempting to induce the voters through vote buying and other such means? Did you record anything like that?
No record of such, except one where one person was found with 3 PVCs. And even though he claimed that the PVCs belonged to the brothers, we did tell a police officer to verify that. In the absence of that, we've not recorded any incidents.
Was it a deliberate strategy of the police because we also had reports from an election observer in our previous segment who talked about the fact that in many of the units, polling units in Kano, the police officers were not actually present in the units, although there was heavy patrol around the units, but the ones who were supposed to be in the units were not there. Is that true? And if so, was it a strategy on the part of the police?
Please take my words to the bank. Every polling unit had large number of policemen. Each polling unit has between 5 and 10 conventional policemen. The vicinity, the area, is saturated with policemen on patrol and even joint patrol with other security agents. We heard rumor, incidences we confirm are false, that a commissioner was arrested, which is false. 2 people were killed, which is false. All the false alarm, even on the social media. And I can bet you whoever gives you any information should produce concrete evidence to establish that they are false, most of those information.
It's okay. Just before I let you go, Mr. Ogbizi, let me ask you, now that, as you said, things are calm, the voting has been concluded in quite a number of areas, and of course the next natural stage now is to put it together, collate it, announce results, and then go on. What will be the role of your men in this stage? Because this is where actually people are quite worried.
I've already directed the policemen in polling unit will escort materials, the INEC officials and materials to the ward, like the collection center. Police, other security will escort them even to local government. And that process will continue up to the INEC headquarters. So there will be no vacuum. Instead, we will have large number of policemen escorting these materials, and some of them fortifying INEC head office, and some will be released to intensify patrol. So there won't be any vacuum. We have a good number of policemen already deployed to take care of any emergency or any situation.
DIG Ogbizi, I'd like you to just pause. I don't know if you are anywhere near a television set. Would like to play you a report that came in earlier on from Kano, and then we'll get your comments after that. So please watch this.
This is Madugawa ward, 040 polling unit. Earlier on today, there was a record of violence in this ward. I will be speaking to one of the eyewitnesses to tell us what exactly happened here in the early hours of today. Can you tell us what happened here today?
Yes, my name is Abdulkadir Balamadiga. The very unfortunate thing that happens first was that we just woke up early in the morning and find out that there are some certain people that were brought into this area to sleep here almost around 3 o'clock. And they didn't belong to the area, they were not born here, they didn't have anything to do with here, and they came and slept here, and they woke up in the morning trying all kind of rubbish, trying to create. In fact, they have even created some chaos there. One of them has even attempted removing a knife, trying to hit somebody with it. In fact, some police came here. They have even took one of them out. So there was so much oncoming violence around, and there was so much Russians and spies from one place to another, different, trying to create a situation whereby even the election they doesn't want you to hold, and we don't know why they don't want you to hold.
Can you just tell me where do you think those people are from? Why do you think those people came into your environment and nothing was done about it?
They were employed by some certain element in the society in the name of one political party to come and see that they sculpt the elections and they didn't make it possible, which we stand on it as an eldest on this area to make sure that people have been brought in to conduct an peaceful and fair election. But still, they are still observing. Even now you can see a lot of chaos and a lot of people, and 90% of those people we are seeing, they don't have a card here to vote, but they are here. And we don't know why if you don't have a vote to vote in this area, why should you come in the first place? Rather, they were here trying to create, because they didn't want to even the election to hold.
All right, this is from the eyewitness earlier on today, that people came into this environment, as we've heard him say. Those people have been taken away. The elections have continued in a very peaceful manner. Hopefully, there'll be no more violence in this place. This is Madugawa Ward, still in Dala local government, Nanchon Vincent, Channels Television News.
Deputy Inspector General of Police, Michael Ogbizi, I don't know if you caught that report. What would be your comment? That is from Madugawa Ward in Dala local government area.
I'm watching it live.
Okay.
Well, as he said, those people came before the election commenced, and he said that one of them was even arrested and taken away. He said that voting is going on there. You do not. The fact there is that those incidents must have happened. If people were there before election commenced, they did not constitute any problem because they must have been taken away and police acted. And of course, if you watch the scene, there is no incidence of violence there. And we have to be very careful. There is this accusation by both sides. One side would accuse the other. But the most important thing there is that voting went on there smoothly, and voters, he was there, other people were there. If there was violence, they would not have been there in the first place. And if people who are there do not have voters' cards, certainly INEC would not allow them to vote.
Indeed. Indeed. Deputy Inspector General of Police, Michael Ogbizi, we want to thank you so very much for joining us and for providing us with these clarifications all the way from Kano in the northwest Nigeria. Thank you so much for joining us on our coverage of the supplementary elections.